Hey there, good people, it's the Crippled Critic, and this week I'm back looking at another one of my top 10 underrated games. At number 9, I want to talk about a game that came out exclusively on the PS2 back in 2003. That game is called Primal. Do you hear that sound? It's the sound of my teenage brain exploding. Primal had everything my 14-year-old self wanted. Blood and gore, heavy metal music, and demon-fighting goth chicks. At first glance, Primal might seem like a horror game, but it's more of an action-adventure game set in a fantasy world. It has horror elements for sure, but that mostly comes from its dark gothic aesthetic that set it apart from other games at the time. So, Primal is about a punk rock college girl named Jennifer Tate, or Jen as she likes to be called. After leaving one of her boyfriend Lewis's rock concerts, they were both attacked by a monster outside the bar. Left for dead and comatose in the hospital, all seemed lost for Jen. Fortunately, her guardian appeared from another dimension to help her. He is Scree, the talking gargoyle creature, and he reveals to Jen her hidden demon powers, as well as showing her the realm of Nexus, which is life, death, and everything in between.
You are part demon, Jen. You were brought into oblivion as a baby, your soul tainted by the touch of chaos. Hearn has awakened the Ferai within you. The Vambrace are merely catalysts for change.
Scree, it hurts!
Your body will be able to adopt each of the demon aspects of oblivion. The first time a form is awakened, the transition may be painful, but trust me, you will adjust.
What have you done to me?
Stay calm. You are in control of this. You may change form when you desire. There's nothing to be afraid of. Your humanity is not lost. However, you will find that the Ferai aspect has many advantages. Agility, strength, stamina, and if I dare say it, you're far more pleasing on the eye. Sadly, as you may have noted with Hearn, the Ferai aren't renowned for their good nature. My point precisely.
Primal was made by British developer Guerrilla Cambridge, which as of now has been closed down unfortunately. Despite what I would call impressive advertising, Primal didn't sell very well. Sony did put a good bit of money into this game and was planning a sequel until finding out about its lackluster sales. It sucks because I think this game has a lot to offer. Sony did release a remaster of the game on the PS4, and that's where I'm getting most of my footage that you see. If I have to say one bad thing about Primal, it's the controls. They can be pretty limited, and the combat mechanics are needlessly complex. The X and triangle buttons are simple enough as the action and cancel buttons, but every single one of the trigger buttons are used for attacking, which can be a pain. It would have benefited from having several of the buttons being interchangeable, but no such luck. You'll be playing as both Jen and Scree, so you can switch between characters using the select button whenever you like. However, in the PlayStation 4 version, they had to compensate for updated hardware, so the select button is now the touchpad. I will admit, this may be difficult for some disabled players. At times, you have to make quick decisions in combat, but I've noticed a few workarounds that have played the new PlayStation 4 version. If you switch to Scree during combat, Jen will automatically fight the enemies, and you'll be safe because Scree is invulnerable in his gargoyle mode. Also, in the past, I had a lot of trouble with the underwater world in the game because I was required to tap the circle button to swim faster, and to top it off, Primal uses pressure-sensitive features for the buttons. Thankfully, they removed the pressure sensitivity in the PS4 remaster. Even when Jen dies, it isn't immediately game over. It automatically switches to Scree, and you're given the option to revive Jen. To do this, you have to have Scree run to the nearest Nexus portal and have him pull Din's spirit back before she's lost forever. If you're quick enough, you could potentially do this an unlimited amount of times without losing any progress. Still, I have to admit, gamers with fine motor skill impairments will most likely have a difficult time, so I suggest if you're playing the PlayStation 4 version, definitely make use of the customizable controls on the console. There are nice, large, visible subtitles available not only for the main language, but also for the made-up demon languages as well, so gamers with hearing impairments should be fine. The first big level in Primal takes place entirely at night, so the game looks kind of dark, but there is a sliding brightness scale, so gamers with visual impairments should also not have too much trouble. So the environments in the game are okay, maybe a little bland, lots of browns and grays. But the monster designs are pretty cool, and Jen has some gnarly demon forms to choose from, like a mix between Satan and a Minotaur. You can also tell plenty of time and effort was put into the lore of each individual demon world, with fighting factions, hidden agendas, and backstabbing. If you like that sort of thing, Primal has got you covered. Primal's biggest strength lies in its characters. Jen and Scree have a great rapport, and neither of them ever feel like they're holding each other back during gameplay. I know in recent years there has been a sort of call for better female characters in games, so it's crazy to me that so many people completely forget about Jen. She's funny, tough, and always questioning authority. A real badass chick.
You know, if I was as wise as this Cronus, I'd find a cushier job. Pull out the jacks and swing in the hammock for a while.
For all our sakes, I trust your own sense of responsibility matches your distinctive sense of humor.
Distinctive good or distinctive?
Distinctive inappropriate.
Jeez, I'm being heckled by a troll.
Scree, on the other hand, is passive, yet wise, and a lovable companion. He has a very deep and sultry voice that lets you know he's been through a lot. Scree is actually voiced by the late Andreas Katoulas, but if you don't know him, he was well known for playing Jakar in the sci-fi show Babylon 5.
Scree was really the toughest character because we wanted a voice which didn't sound like Scree looked, if you see what I mean. So it wasn't like a little guy's voice, or it wasn't a silly voice. It was a voice that had kind of nobility and kind of depth to it. And the only voice we could really think of was inspired by a character in Babylon 5 called Jakar. And this character was played by an actor called Andreas Katoulas.
But I doubt we've seen the last of King Adaro. So when they conceived of this whole thing in the character of Scree, in their minds, they really heard Jakar somehow in that role, or more precisely me, I guess. So they've been dead for days. It's the undying...
Although both of the actors had done TV and film, this was their first video game experience.
It's different working on a video game than a film because you don't have to worry about the way you look. It's not my body, it's not my likeness. It's just my voice, and it's my interpretation of the character. Then I get to act with Andres, and that makes it brilliant. And so you are acting, you're not just speaking or reading lines.
I wouldn't want to do it without my fellow actor also working with me. I don't think I'd be able to do it as well without this ongoing relationship with Hudson, who's right there, and we really get into it together. So it's like doing a little mini play that no one will ever see. Fight with great distinction.
Uh-huh.
Scree is one of my favorite video game characters of all time, and I still use his avatar for my PlayStation profile to this day, because he is awesome. Well, there you have it. Primal is a severely underrated game. Whether it was because of bigger budget games that came out that year, like the very first Call of Duty or Prince of Persia, Primal never really got on anyone's radar, which is unfortunate because I think it was way ahead of its time. The good thing is that Sony realized later that Primal had a big enough fan base to warrant a re-release. They put out a digital remaster of Primal on PS4 just a few months ago, so I highly recommend giving it a shot. Anyways guys, thanks for watching, I hope you liked it, and I will see you later.